She was appointed executive vice president and provost of the entire university, serving there from 2003 to 2007. In December 2006, a really wonderful thing happened. She was elected president of our university, where she was able to come back to her roots. She became the first woman ever in the over 100-year history of this great institution to serve in that capacity. And by all accounts, her tenure so far, although brief because she's just arrived, has been extraordinarily successful. So it is quite an honor to have you, Barbara, present our welcome this morning. And in honor of your presentation today, and because it's a little colder in Cleveland than down in Columbus, I do have a Cox Center sweatshirt to provide you to keep you warm in the coming winter nights. So thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for that very kind introduction. It is both an honor and a pleasure to be here this morning to welcome all of you to the conference in commemoration of the 60th anniversary of the negotiations of the Genocide Convention. It's an honor, of course, because the topic is so very important, and a pleasure because I'm so proud of the work of the Frederick Cox International Law Center here at the law school. Many, if not all of you, are familiar with some of Michael's significant projects in recent years. 3 years ago, he helped train the judges and prosecutors of the Iraqi Special Tribunal, and then in 2006 led the first session to help prepare the prosecutors and the judges of the UN Cambodia Genocide Tribunal. Along the way, Michael and the law school's War Crimes program were nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize by 6 governments and by the prosecutor of an international criminal tribunal. But Case Western Reserve University's involvement does not rest on the work of a single individual. Through the War Crimes Research Lab, our professors and students have prepared more than 150 research memoranda for 6 international war crimes tribunals. More of our students have served as interns of tribunals than students of any other law school in the world. And a recent law school graduate is among the attorneys prosecuting Charles Taylor in The Hague. Another graduate has spent the past 3 years working as a legal advisor to the judges of the Rwanda Tribunal. Our center has a blog that ranked highest among international law blogs in last year's Weblog Awards. More recently, we added an electronic newsletter, the War Crimes Prosecution Watch, that has gained 15,000 subscribers in little more than a year. Case Western Reserve's commitment to excellence in international law is longstanding. As Michael mentioned, I began my academic career here at Case Western Reserve University, and when I started, one of my friends and colleagues was Henry King, former prosecutor in the Nuremberg trials, who is continuing in his role as a faculty member and a leader in international law here at the university. Professor King is among 3 former Nuremberg prosecutors appearing on one of this morning's panels, The Origins of the Genocide Convention from Nuremberg to Lake Success. That session and one other offer an invaluable opportunity for all of us to reflect on the history of the landmark UN Genocide Convention, first authored in 1947 and then adopted the following year. But today's conference goes beyond consideration of that historic moment to discussion of such important contemporary issues as the use of force to stop genocide, prosecuting and defending individuals accused of genocide, and the current role of the International Court of Justice. The speakers gathered today represent an impressive group of individuals who have not only thought deeply about these issues, but had direct experience in handling cases. I commend Michael for the great work he did in putting this conference together and bringing it to Case Western Reserve University, and we are very proud to host this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Snyder. It's a wonderful way to kick off this event. Thank you. This conference is going to have a very unique format. Part of my problem is I've been going to so many conferences with the regular traditional talking head format that I've just really strived to have something different to keep myself and all of you awake. So other than the first panel, all of our panels today are either crossfire or discussion panels. And for every panel, there is 15 minutes reserved for question and answer from the audience because we know your participation is important to the success of the conference as well. The symposium has been made possible by a very generous grant from the Wolf Family Foundation. And I see some of the representatives from that foundation, Jim Wolf and his daughter Diane here today. And I just want to thank you for allowing us to be able to put this together with your support. Thank you so much, Jim. As in the past, we've had some very helpful co-sponsors, and one of those is the International Bar Association. And Mark Ellis, I want to thank you again for all of your support of you and your organization for our events. It's also being co-sponsored by the Robert Jackson Center in Chautauqua. And Greg Peterson, where are you today? There you are at the very back. Thank you again, and we love the collaboration we have with your center out there. It's also being co-sponsored by the Irish Center for Human Rights in Galway, Ireland, my home away from home, and Bill Shavis. Are you? There you are. Thank you, Bill. And I also want to thank all of our expert speakers who are in the first couple of rows, some of whom have traveled halfway across the world, including we have speakers from Baghdad. We have speakers coming all the way from Cambodia. People have really made a great effort to make this an extraordinary conference, and you're going to really enjoy the presentations and insights that they bring to us. I also want to thank the staff of the centers of the law school, and in particular Nancy Pratt and Alice Simon, who handled the conference logistics, and of course the editors of the Journal of International Law. Brianne Draffin is the Symposium editor. Is Adam here in the room? Adam, the editor-in-chief, has been a huge help, and the other members that you've recruited to help us with this, as well as those members of the International Law Society who are helping us with our logistics. And the Journal of International Law will be publishing a symposium issue, as we've done in the past, on this, which we, through the support of the Wolf Foundation, will be providing to 1,000 experts and others around the world so that we can make a difference in the fight against genocide. The Journal of International Law has come up with an interesting suggestion, which I wholly support, and that is that this symposium and the symposium issue be dedicated to case Professor Henry King. And Barbara has mentioned Henry earlier. I thought that this is a great idea, and in addition, I'm pleased to use this opportunity to announce the establishment of the Henry T. King Fellowship. The Cox Center and the Canada-U.S. Law Institute, which Henry chairs, will fund one student to serve as Henry's research assistant on issues related to international humanitarian and criminal law, and one student to focus on your role, Henry, in Canada, U.S., and international trade law. And so in 2007 and 2008, the HTK Fellows will assemble your lifetime body of speeches and writing and prepare them for publication. And they will also assemble your work as chair of the American Bar Association, Canada Bar Association, and Barra Mexicana joint working group for the settlement of international disputes for publication. Henry, you're the spirit of our law school. Thank you for your outstanding contributions to the law, to the university, and also to me personally as a mentor here. Finally, this event is serving as a regional conference of the International Law Association and the annual meeting of the International Association of Penal Law, as well as a regional meeting of the American Society of International Law, some great institutional partners. To tell you more about the International Association of Penal Law, which is also called the AIDP, based on its French acronym, and to present the award for the AIDP Book and Article of the Year Award, is last year's Book of the Year Award winner, a good friend and an excellent colleague, Professor Michael Kelly, Professor of Law from Creighton University. Michael?
Thank you, Michael. The International Association of Penal Law has been around since 1924. It's based in Paris, and there are a lot of national chapters. The U.S. national chapter is housed here at Case, along with all the other hats that Michael wears. He's president of the International Association of Penal Law U.S. chapter. And what we have done for the past several years is award an outstanding book award, an outstanding article award in the field of international criminal law. And every year there are lots of entries, but one or another tends to float to the top. The books that are displayed up here on the screen were this year's candidates for the 2007 Book of the Year Award. Michael Scharf and Greg McNeil assembled the Saddam on Trial book, Understanding and Debating the Iraqi High Tribunal. It's a series of essays by several leaders in our field, and it asks a series of guiding questions, such as, was it a mistake to have the trial in Baghdad? Were the proceedings fundamentally fair? Was there a legitimacy quotient sufficient to carry the trial off? What precedents did it solve? A second book that was up for consideration by Mark Drumble is Atrocity, Punishment, and International Law. Mark's book undertook an on-the-ground review of sentencing in Rwanda, Bosnia, East Timor, and actually assembled a very persuasive argument to call for a broader-based response to atrocity beyond just adversarial proceedings, to include restorative, reparative, and reintegrative justice measures. The third book that the review committee considered was War Crimes and Just War by Larry May, an excellent book that actually takes a different look at international crimes and war crimes law, and considers war crimes as crimes against humanness rather than violations of justice, a very different tack on that issue. The committee decided unanimously that the award this year should go to Mark Drumble's book, Atrocity, Punishment, and International Law. It's a book that has a lot of heart and a lot of soul, and that's very difficult for a law book to have. So, Mark, if you'll come down, we'll give you this award.
Thank you very much.
Here's a copy of the book. I would highly recommend it to all of you, as well as the other two candidates for this year's award. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. And there's a website for it.
Available at Cambridge University Press. The Article of the Year award goes to a really, really outstanding piece with the title From the X-Files, EX, not X, an essay on trading peace for justice that appears in volume 63 of the Washington and Lee Law Review, 2006. This outstanding article, and one that I have started using in my international criminal law class, in violation of copyright, I'm sure, really gets students excited about the prospect of trading peace for justice. And the author disabuses readers of the notion that this is truly a Hobson's choice. The author is Michael Scharf.
This is not a setup.
And don't abuse Washington and Lee copyright.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The final thing I want to do before I turn the program back over to Michael is make you aware of the International Association of Penal Law's activities here in the U.S. chapter, and encourage you to consider joining. One of the things that we have undertaken at the U.S. National Chapter is a blog, and we rolled this out earlier this year. We have 8 full-time bloggers, but we also welcome guest bloggers. It has quickly become one of the most frequently used blogs for international criminal law among American academics, and we hope to push this further into the international realm as well. If you are interested in joining the U.S. National Chapter of AIDP, there are membership forms in the lobby. There's a very modest fee that I'm sure you can get your dean to pay for annual membership. And you can join us on the internet, and then hopefully see you again next year at our annual conference, same time, same place, I assume. Thank you, Michael.